Whoa, a propane fire. It causes a house fire in Midtown. Crews been battling it. That explosion again caught on camera. I'm Robin Marsh right now on News 9. What caused it all? More of the video. It's coming up. And this.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence to honor the lives and memories of Deer Creek High School students who tragically passed away last night.
A moment of silence at Deer Creek High School. Classmates grieving the loss of 2 students killed in a crash. I'm Lacie Lowry. Coming up, how the community is now honoring those girls.
We're seeing thick fog. In fact, a dense fog advisory out through 10 a.m. This could impact your drive. We'll talk about where the fog is the most dense and where we may have some patchy black ice due to freezing fog.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
6 a.m. on a Wednesday morning as we say good morning, Oklahoma. Thanks for choosing News 9. The morning drive could get a little tricky even here in the metro.
We're watching that. Also watching the forecast for that Friday night football game in Norman. Let's check in with Lacie Swope in the Bob Mills Weather Center. How are we looking this morning, Lace?
And that little football game coming up on Friday. It is all the rage, all the talk, and the forecast looks amazing. This morning, you're absolutely right. A little tricky depending on where you are. Visibility is greatly impacted by the fog in some areas. Now, our crews that are out on the roadways in the Oklahoma City area, roads are fine, visibility is fine. That's a shot from Purcell, and there's Concho. So let's go to Jeremy Carter's shot. Thank you, control room, for punching that up. Jeremy is in Purcell, and you can see visibility is becoming more and more limited as the fog gets a little bit thicker, and as that continues over the next couple of hours, we may end up with visibility at times down to just a few hundred yards. So that's what we're watching for. Let me show you currently, if you're hitting the road here at 6 a.m., where we have fog. Now heading up the Turner Turnpike, you get to Stroud, it's thick, and then down into Norman, Purcell, back to Coger, down to the southwest, and then once you get into northwestern Oklahoma and even the West Metro out near El Reno, we're below freezing, and that could lead to some patchy black ice. We're at 29 in Geary. Watch the bridge on I-40 once you get west of El Reno. If you drive in thick fog and your temperature gets down below freezing, that could cause ice on the bridges. Now, Minko's at 42, no ice, but thick fog near Carnegie and Cooperton. Might have a patch of black ice or two from Hitchcock to Watonga along 270, and again, it's the south and southwest metro where we do have the thickest fog. Chickasha really socked in right now. Not anticipating slick spots on bridges in Oklahoma City, but we're going to watch the area to the northwest where we might end up with elevated surfaces getting some of that black ice. And the concern right now would be I-40 because that's the most traveled roadway west of El Reno. Visibility is not terrible in Oklahoma City, guys, and we are currently sitting at 36 degrees. Back to the 50s this afternoon. Your 9-day is coming up.
Whoa, caught on camera. It's a house fire breaking out early this morning in Midtown. It happened about 2:30 right near Northwest 16th and Classen. Firefighters say the house was empty when they arrived. Crews say it was a propane tank that exploded. There it is, right on the second floor of the house. No one was hurt. The cause of the fire is under investigation. In Northeast Oklahoma City, a woman is stabbed while waiting for her food at a Sonic restaurant. It happened about 11:30 last night. This was right near I-235 and Northeast 23rd. Police say the victim was in her car when someone walked up to her, stabbed her, and then ran off. The woman was taken to the hospital. Her name and condition have not been released. Officers say at this point they really don't even have a good suspect description.
A Metro man is found dead inside a burning home in northeast Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City firefighters say they were called to the home near Northeast 17th and Kelly around 7:30 last night. They tell us there was heavy smoke coming from the home when they got there. They found the man's body. No one else was at the home. The man's name has not yet been released. Fire crews say the fire is under investigation. Heartbreak this morning after 2 Deer Creek High School students are killed, 2 others hospitalized after a crash on Monday night. News 9's Brianna Brown joins us with the latest on the crash investigation and what we know so far about the victims.
Deer Creek High School held a moment of silence at Tuesday night's girls' basketball game, honoring the 2 lives lost. While back at the crash site, visitors have paid their respects, some leaving flowers. Aslyn Jacobs, who went by Jazzy, lost her life in the accident. Her mother says she was kind and caring and had dreams of going to cosmetology school and becoming a veterinarian. Another student who was involved in the accident, London Mitchell, remains hospitalized in critical condition. Her family is asking for prayers as she fights to heal.
Unfortunately, we see this stuff way too often, and it takes up a large part of our troopers' lives. So when they send their kids off to college or they send their kids just down the street to the store, they worry about their driving in a situation like this happening.
Investigators are still looking into what led up to the accident. According to the crash report, their truck left the roadway, clipped a guardrail, and fell nearly 35 feet into a creek bed. Not all of the teens in the vehicle were wearing their seatbelts. Tuesday night, we saw road crews repairing the guardrail and putting up new caution signs at the scene of the crash. In Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
Brianna, thanks so much. And this morning, we do know 16-year-old London Mitchell is in ICU at the hospital fighting for her life. She is in critical condition. I actually had the chance to meet London working on a different story back in the summer. It was the first time London had really ever spoke publicly about her mother's murder nearly 15 years ago, which was left unsolved. London was 1 year old when her mother passed here in the metro. London told me she found healing through her connection with her animals.
I love horses. I love riding horses. It's kind of how I found my love for horses. And since then, it's brought me a lot of peace with my anxiety and everything.
London is a barrel racer. She was a trainer for the wrestling team in Deer Creek. Her family says they are asking for continued prayers as London fights for her life. They say our hearts are broken for the Deer Creek families who have lost their precious daughters, and we are lifting them up every moment. We are praying for you, London, for all these families in the Deer Creek community. This is a hard thing to handle right here at Christmas, and our thoughts and prayers are with you all. It is 6:07 on our Wednesday morning. We are going to switch gears and talk a little bit about the morning drive. It could get tricky here in the metro. Megan is watching things for us. Megan, how are we looking here right after 6 a.m.?
Right now here in Oklahoma City, our visibilities are just fine. But as Lacey's been talking about, we could start to see areas of dense fog kind of creep into areas towards downtown. Here's a live look from our American Fidelity camera. Right now, visibility is just fine if you're traveling from Edmond in Oklahoma City. If you're with us about 15-20 minutes ago, I mentioned a crash on Lake Parkway just south of the Kilpatrick. That is since cleared, so that won't slow you down. You're good to go there. Down south towards the Norman area, I-35 in Robinson, looking off to the north, good to go there. And then on the wide view, what I've done is I put the fog on. So down towards Union City, Tuttle, down to Chickasha. That's where that dense fog is right now. We're starting to kind of see that expand closer up towards the metro. But right now, if you're traveling I-40, I-35 into Oklahoma City, you're good to go. And again, the crash up on the north side, that has since cleared. Guys, back over to you.
Education news. Oklahoma's highest court says new social studies standards that were previously approved by the Board of Education will not move forward. The updated curriculum included teachings from the Bible and theories about the 2020 presidential election. Those standards were approved under former State Superintendent Ryan Walters. Well, just yesterday, the state Supreme Court ruled that the board actually violated the Open Meeting Act when it passed those standards, making the standards invalid. For now, Oklahoma classrooms will keep the 2019 standards in place. We've reached out to the State Board of Education, now led by State Superintendent Lyndall Fields. The board tells us it is committed to transparency and adherence to the Open Meeting Act as it works to develop new standards.
It is 6:10 on a Wednesday morning. Hopefully that fog doesn't mess the morning drive up too much.
Yeah, we're kind of watching it in different areas. Let's check in with Lacie Swope. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Hey, Lace.
Hey, good morning. It's kind of patchy, guys, so you'll kind of drive in it and out of it pretty quickly. Currently, that may become more of a blanket of fog over the next couple of hours, but here in the Bob Mills Weather Center, we're looking at it. It's not half bad. In downtown, light fog, really no major problem downtown. Temperatures in the 30s above freezing, warming into the 40s, but it is much thicker once you get down to the south and west. We'll talk about that. Who could see some black ice? Big wind tonight with a cold front, near records for Christmas. That's coming up.
Ahead, almost 500,000 independent voters in Oklahoma could be shut out of next year's primaries. Democrats say this is all a mistake. Can they fix it? We're talking about it next.
I think the folks in this video, I think they survived. It's the one that was under this.
We didn't know watching that it was under there.
There was another truck underneath this truck right here.
And I remember vividly, there was a point where we were like, hey, okay, our crews on the ground are saying they're checking that vehicle. There's no one in it. So we were like, okay, maybe it was a good thing, and didn't realize there was actually another one underneath.
Boy, scary moments that played out right here on News 9. That was actually just one of the extreme weather days that made 2025 a roller coaster. In our next podcast episode of Beyond the Forecast, Lacie and David recap 2025 and go month to month as we look back at the year. And boy, it's kind of sobering, everything we've been through this last year.
Yeah, snow, ice, drought, fires, flooding, tornadoes, you name it.
Yeah, you can catch the episode Thursday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And Lacie, this is on which YouTube page?
The News 9 Weather YouTube page. So if you just go for search Beyond the Forecast or search News 9 Weather, that'll take you there. Of course, the QR code takes you straight there. It'll be live tomorrow at 3, and it really is a recap of all the extremes statewide that we had, from tornadoes to record rainfall, the fires, which everyone remembers, and the flooding. And flooding is what killed more people in 2025 than anything else. So it was awful.
It didn't let up, it seems like, the whole year, you know?
Yeah, then we go to drought. So now we have drought, now we have lack of rainfall, and we're getting back into potential for a wildfire season. Wow. So we're watching that. I know.
Oh my goodness.
It's always something.
We see so much here in Oklahoma.
We do.
Not just extremes, but also the variety of things.
Yeah, we get it all.
We get it all, and we truly get all 4 seasons, which makes us unique from many other areas across the globe. Right now, I'll tell you, it's quiet, and looking ahead to Christmas as people are making their plans to get out and about. Really nothing weather-wise to slow you down for your travel, for your shopping, for your plans.
Santa's going to be okay?
Santa's okay. And it looks like Rudolph may not even be needed very much heading into Christmas Eve. Man, the Christmas pictures keep coming in. And I think we've started a trend, guys, because most of the pictures that I keep receiving are similar to this one. Poor little Madeline. You can almost hear this picture, can't you? That's the blood curdling. Look at her. Look at her little toes. The Santa, he loves you nonetheless.
Yep.
You're still on the nice list, little Madeline. You're gonna love Santa as well. Now this is Asher, same deal, same reaction for our Santa sightings. Yeah, little Asher as well. Not too sure, and I get it. If it's not mommy, it's a little scary when you're a teeny tiny baby. Now we only have a few more days of school left, and then out for the Christmas holiday and for the new year. Christmas is 8 days away, and as you're getting your kiddos ready for the road, you're not getting your kids ready for the roadways. Hopefully you're getting them ready for school. We have some fog to contend with. It's in the 30s. You want the coat, and we warm to the 50s. So across the region in Oklahoma City and the North Metro, not much in the way of fog. Visibility is absolutely fine. You get out into the West Metro, down to the Southwest. There's your Concho cam. We are seeing thicker fog, and Jeremy's out on the roads. Jeremy's been through Purcell. Jeremy, you were in some thicker fog earlier. Just give folks an update as they head out on their Wednesday. Go ahead.
Yeah, Lacie. So really, I'm just head up the show back to the west toward Washington, but the fog is very variable. You can really drive pretty good in some places. Other places, it'll be reduced to about 1/8 of a mile visibility all at once. So really, it's kind of a hit and miss. So I'll continue driving the roads, traveling the roads, get back with you if anything changes.
We know
you, Lacie.
Thank you so much, Jeremy and Ramey, for being out this morning. Just to give folks that view, many areas are just fine, but let me show you where the fog is the most dense. You get over to El Reno, down to Cogar, all the way down to Frederick and Comanche. It's pretty thick. We've got a couple of isolated spots where it's thick up the Turner Turnpike near Stroud. Now you're in the 40s in Minco and Amber and Chickasha, where the fog is settling in, above freezing down near Duncan. So thick fog, but no ice. We're concerned up near Billings, where there's thick fog in one spot on 412, and it's 29 degrees. That means a bridge there, or elevated surface, could have some patchy black ice. 42 degrees and thick fog near Stroud. Norman, not seeing any real thick fog. It's fairly light, but the area that's below freezing from El Reno to Okarche to Greenfield to Binger, along I-40, along 270, watch the bridges for patches of black ice. It is going to be possible to have some slick spots. Not everyone up here is seeing ice. In fact, most won't, but a patch of black ice can cause you to have a really bad day, and that can cause a really serious wreck or accident. So be careful. Not seeing widespread problems right now, but I think the fog gets a little thicker here over the next couple of hours. Now, there's a lot of wind headed our way with this storm system. Blizzard warnings are out, high wind warnings. When that cold front gets here tonight, the winds pick up, skies clear out, and yeah, we're in for more of a fire threat. Currently though, it's more about the fog, the moisture that's around. We might end up with some drizzle this morning. 36 is the temperature. You get over to Kingfisher and El Reno, you're at 29. Watch the bridges. 29 in Enid, 29 in Stillwater, 50s down in southern Oklahoma. Hour by hour today, we have the clouds around for the next several hours into the afternoon. Tries to break apart some this evening. Meg, what are you opening? She's got her Diet Coke going. She's popping the top here.
I'm jealous.
Getting the party started here at News 9. We've got 56 degrees in Oklahoma City, 56 in Enid, 60 in Lawton, 50s and 60s into western Oklahoma, and it is going to start to break apart with some sunshine out west earlier. A couple showers are possible later this afternoon in the southeast. Wish it was more widespread. It just isn't. That storm system moves out, and the next one makes its way in, and man, what a wind maker it will be. Today, it's a south breeze coming up, 10 to 20. Winds aren't crazy today. Tonight, the cold front moves in. You get winds 20, 30, some gusts to 40 miles per hour. 40, 45 will be possible in the mid-morning hours of your Thursday. Windy with elevated fire danger because of the wind and the low humidity. Then we'll see a strong south wind heading into your Friday, and that's going to help warm us back up. Tonight, no fog. We're in the 30s, the 40s. It's windy, mid-50s tomorrow. Gusty north wind through the day, 20 to 30 miles per hour. And then on Friday, guys, mid-50s and dry with sunny skies. Looking excellent down in Norman for the big OU-Bama game. Temps fall in the 40s at the stadium into the evening and back to 70 degrees on Saturday and very warm for Christmas this year. Back to you guys.
Lacie, thank you. Your time now 6:19. A check of traffic. Fresh off her Diet Coke. Let's check in with Megan Glenn. Hey, Megan.
It probably wasn't very smart to take a drink of that because now I'm worried I'm going to burp on live TV. So
you got it, girl.
We'll see. I got it. I've got several shots to show you here if you're headed out the door. Of course, Lacie's got you covered there on the fog. But from our American Fidelity camera, you can see the haze there, but traffic moving along just fine. We did have one crash earlier this morning, not weather related. There was no fog in that area up on Lake Havner Parkway near the Kilpatrick. Here's I-40 in Council looking off to the west. Of course, you go farther west than that, out towards El Reno and back to the west. I'll show you that here in just a second. The fog is much denser. I-35 South 66 looking off to the north. The morning drive is picking up. So what I've done is a lot going on here, but there's the fog down to the south and west, and then the pink line is the freezing line. As Lacie's been talking about, areas where your temperatures are below freezing and you've got that dense fog, you can have a slick spot or two, black ice on the bridges and overpasses. So watch that. El Reno back down to Union City. Your commute will have fog, but then back into the metro, you're doing just fine. No accidents to report to you. Just be safe as you hit the roadways. Maybe grab a Diet Coke. Back over to you guys.
I like your thinking, that's for sure. Hey, coming up, boy, the Sooners gearing up for that big game Friday night against Alabama coming to town. Coming up, we hear from OU head coach Brent Venables, what he has to say about the defense, how the defense is getting ready for the game. It's next on 9.
Welcome back. The Sooners are hard at work preparing to face the Alabama Crimson Tide this Friday night. It is round 1 of the college football playoff, the game in Norman. One highlight for the OU Sooners is their unstoppable defense, which has kept them in control all season. Sooner head coach Brent Venables says the key to making a great defense starts at the recruiting level.
It starts with the people that you're recruiting. That, again, chose Oklahoma for, again, development, for the, fraternity of Oklahoma football. It's important to them.
And our sports guys are getting you ready for the big matchup. Don't miss our 30-minute special report on the OU playoff game. We're calling it the Chase for 8. Could they get an 8th national title? That special report tonight right here at 6:30.
Hey, but it doesn't stop there. For even more coverage ahead of OU's game against Alabama, including analysis and exclusive interviews, grab your phone, scan this QR code on your screen. You can also go to our website, news9.com. Everything you need to know. If you're tailgating, where to park, because parking will be a premium on any game day. It's a premium. Now you have all these people coming, Lacie. It's going to be really a big deal.
Can you imagine that tailgate on Friday?
Oh,
like nothing they've ever seen. Can't wait for it. Hey, let's get over to Lacie Swope for the outdoor forecast. So much excitement, Lace.
Oh, and it's getting so very close, guys. Just a couple of days away, and folks are just going to be flocking in droves to Norman. The forecast looks great by Friday. A little windy. This morning, not a lot of wind, and the temperatures have dropped down to the 30s and 40s, but you get into El Reno, Kingfisher, back to Hinton, up to Enid, temps are in the 20s and low 30s, below freezing, and we've got quite a bit of moisture with some fog settling in. There's the chance for some light black ice on the bridges. It is not widespread. In fact, the thickest fog is not in Oklahoma City. It's back over to El Reno, Coger, back down to Comanche and Frederick. Visibility at times less less than a quarter of a mile. Where we have the coldest temperatures, we don't have much in the way of fog. So again, not expecting widespread icing, but still the chance for thicker fog from El Reno to Tuttle, OKC, Norman, Noble. Not too bad. Jeremy Carter's out on the roads for you. We'll check in with him coming up in the next half hour. Temperatures today warm from the 30s into the 50s this afternoon. We'll talk about the cold front that hits tonight. More on your OU Bama forecast and your weekend. It's all right after this break.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
And good morning, OKC. And a little fog kind of greeting drivers across the metro this morning. Lacey's talked about the heavier parts that drivers will be seeing. She'll have the details of all of that. And it does look like from our SSM cam over on the east side of the metro. Megan will probably be checking out if there's a wreck over there. Megan, is there a wreck over in that area?
No report of it,
Okay.
so could be somebody that's been stopped.
Yep, we're seeing the
Just not
lights
sure.
there.
And it's outbound, that's the good news. It's
Yes,
outbound on the
okay,
metro.
so and you can see all that traffic coming into Oklahoma City, but you can see how the fog has kind of settled across from our cameras all over the metro from the Lucky Star Skycam network this morning. Just buckle up, allow a little extra time. Just don't be in a hurry this morning because that fog could be a difference maker in the morning drive.
You're seeing it on a couple of cameras right there. Let's check in with Lacie Swope. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacie, you're monitoring things, and it's kind of patchy depending on where you are.
You know, there are areas that you're going to drive into and all of a sudden visibility drops. So just be aware of that. Don't have your phone up. Have no distractions. Make sure you're paying attention so you can slow down when you need to. Watch for deer running around in the poor visibility in this type of a scenario. And the one thing we really have to watch closely is there are a few locations below freezing, and you might end up with some patchy black ice. Now in Oklahoma City, we are above freezing. We've got storm trackers out. Our news trackers are out this morning. Jeremy Carter, he's been through Purcell. He's been through the South Metro, and fog has limited visibility in his shots at times, and you can kind of see the vehicle in front of him there. A little bit more difficult to see. So make sure you got your low beams on this morning. You're going to be good to go. Most of the roadways are okay. Let me show you where the fog is the most thick. You get from El Reno to Binger to Coger, Surreal, back down to Frederick. It's the most dense. In fact, in Oklahoma City, visibility is more than a mile. It's at about 2 to 3 miles. So not terrible. El Reno to Hinton to Binger, we are sitting right near freezing. So on I-40 from El Reno back to Hinton, down 281 to Binger, watch the bridges. You might have some patches of black ice. Now where we have 20s going on, the fog is not too awful thick. There's some light fog from Stroud to Sparks, but again, Tuttle, Union City, El Reno, that is where it is the thickest. Temperatures are in the 20s to the north and west, so isolated slick spots are possible. We're above freezing currently at Will Rogers. We're at 36 degrees, so no ice. Some fog, some drizzle possible for your morning, guys, and then this afternoon, it's mid-50s. We'll talk about winds for tonight, your Friday forecast, 70s for parts of your weekend, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, near record highs. That's coming up.
A developing story out of northwest Oklahoma City where police find a body at the bottom of the water tower at the Lake Hefner water treatment plant. Police say that discovery was made yesterday morning on the property near Hefner and Portland. The medical examiner is working to determine how that person died. We're told right now there is not a police investigation. Shawnee police are calling a threat made to Shawnee High School unsubstantiated. Police say the threat was made Tuesday morning. After a full sweep of the school, no weapons or threats were found. The school district says students and staff were never in danger, but there was an increased police presence at the school yesterday. A criminal investigation into the threat is now underway.
A former state lawmaker's manslaughter conviction is thrown out after an appeals court rules the jury in the case was confused over the law. We're talking about former Representative Dan Kirby. Here's his picture. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison for a motorcycle crash that killed his girlfriend, Shirley Bishel. This was back in 2022. Prosecutors say Kirby had drugs and alcohol in his system when he crashed his motorcycle. But Kirby's attorneys argued the jury was confused over whether the prosecution needed to prove he was impaired at the time of the crash. They say jurors asked the judge for clarity but did not receive it. The appeals court yesterday agreed and then sent the case back to a lower court, a district court, where Kirby could get a new trial. We'll be watching what happens. We're watching the roadways this morning, and that fog kind of settling in could create some problems. Meteorologist Megan Gold is watching things right now. Megan, how are we doing here at 6:35?
We're still doing good in the immediate metros. We've been showing you it's really the west side and then now down to the south towards Norman. I've got several more shots to show you here. Still that haze on our American Fidelity camera if you're headed into Oklahoma City. Still no accidents to report to you, which is great news from Northwest Expressway and Lake Hefner Parkway from our Integris camera. And then here down towards the south, I-35 into Tecumseh. Notice reduced visibilities there, and that's down in the Norman area, I-40 in May looking off to the west. So if you're traveling northbound out of Norman, you'll be driving through a little bit of fog there. Visibility not all that bad, but if you're headed into Oklahoma City from El Reno to Yukon, I-40, you'll have reduced visibility. So extra space between you and the car in front of you, not a bad idea. And as mentioned, just don't be in a rush this morning. Be safe as you hit the roadways, guys.
Megan, thank you. Oklahoma's 500,000 independent voters are trying to gain ground after a mistake from Democrats. Last week, the state revealed no party had filed paperwork to allow independent voters to vote in primaries for the next 2 years. Now, Democrats say that was a mistake. They're fighting that move. In the meantime, though, two groups are pushing their mission as a solution for independent voters. First off, the Sooner State Party is now gathering signatures to become an official party, converting independents to moderates. And also, the group Oklahoma Independents wants to increase voter engagement.
I think that moderate has become in recent political times kind of a curse word, unfortunately, among groups.
We're not trying to be a political party. We're just a political home for the rest of us.
The Sooner State Party must gather 35,000 signatures to become official. It says it already has 21,000.
Well, Governor Stitt meeting with poultry farmers in eastern Oklahoma. We can tell you the discussion really centered around plans to handle a decades-long lawsuit that accuses poultry companies of polluting the Illinois River watershed with chicken waste. The governor says that Tyson Foods did everything right and wants the case immediately dismissed.
I would go sit down with the poultry industry and we would come up with a reasonable solution that we would protect our family farms, not drive them out of Oklahoma.
Well, the governor says this is part of his pro-business approach to the lawsuit that's been underway for several years.
If you want your holiday gifts and cards to arrive before Christmas, bless you, Pierce.
Whoa.
Goodness.
Big guy, you okay?
Bless you, buddy. That's our floor director, Pierce. Okay. Back to this. If you want to get your cards out by Christmas, the United States Postal Service is reminding you to send them out this week. Ground Advantage and first class mail should go out no later than today. The deadline for priority mail is Thursday tomorrow, and Priority Mail Express should be sent out by this coming Saturday. For mail going to Alaska, Hawaii, and the U.S. territories, the deadline for first-class mail is today.
All right.
Hey, send some
Pierce, here you go, big guy.
tissues over to
We're
Pierce.
Gonna pass it out to you.
Come on in. That's the loudest sneeze I've ever heard.
We feel you, buddy. That's for sure. All right. Seems like everyone's kind of sneezing and wheezing. It's wintertime, Lacie. I mean, it happes.
It's a time of year where, yeah, it's definitely a thing. So, yeah, we love you, but we love you from afar.
Yes. Stay over there.
Guys, as we get closer and closer to the holiday, the forecast is looking very warm for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We'll talk about that coming up. Here in the Bob Mills Weather Center, Jeremy Carter's on the roads for you, watching the fog, which in some areas is limiting visibility to less than a quarter of a mile. We're in the 30s in the metro, warming to the 40s, and coming up, we're going to talk about a cold front, a lot of wind tonight, and more on just how warm we are for Christmas coming up.
Well, game day in Norman brings road closures, new traffic patterns, and extra police officers to help keep fans safe. Tens of thousands coming in for that OU-Bama game. What you can expect, we're talking about it next. All right, 48 hours until that big game in Norman. We've been watching the forecast for this. Looking good?
Looks amazing. 8 days till Christmas. There's so much going on across Oklahoma. And so many folks are just trying to get all your last minute errands run and everything done. Weather's looking good. Some fog this morning, but as we head to Friday, we've got a lot of wind in the forecast. Skies will clear out. Friday looks sunny, by the way. So just starting here with the big OU game. Alabama is coming to town. Temps will be in the upper 50s. We'll see some sunshine falling into the 40s during the game. If you're headed to the game or just to Normantown, Make sure you're prepared for a chilly evening, but I wouldn't call this really even cold. It's going to be gorgeous for football. Then just jumping ahead to Christmas, once Santa is coming to town, Christmas Eve will be near 70 degrees and Christmas Day 71. Some data has us shattering record highs on Christmas Day. We'll just have to see. We're still 8-9 days away here. So as far as the forecast goes, it'll still change some, but it's still a warm trend. That is for sure, which is great for traveling. Today, it's about the fog. As you're hitting the roadways, we have some travel woes to get to, and I'll show you here on our Lucky Star Skycam network. Some of the roadways are good to go. Our crews out here in Oklahoma City, yeah, the traffic is picking up, but the fog is not terrible. Fog's a little more dense over near I-40 and I-44 on our Mathis home cam. Over near Concho, it's pretty thick in and around El Reno. And then down near Binger, we've got Jeremy Carter, who has been out for us. Jeremy's been through Purcell. He's been kind of into the south sides of the metro through Dibble, and you can see as you come up to the intersections here, fog could limit visibility, make some of those signs or stop signs a little bit difficult to see. Keep your low beams on, just use caution. You can get to where you're going pretty easily this morning. It's not terrible. All right, back to the maps and I'll show you. Eventually the winds pick up tonight and that's going to mix out the fog, the clouds. Drier air is moving in. The high wind warnings with this system start in Kansas with blizzard warnings up near Montana. All the rain and blowing snow stays north of Oklahoma, but that cold front makes it tonight and that will change things. We'll have it for you in a second. I do want to bring your attention to El Reno, to Kingfisher, to Fairview, to Enid, Cherokee. You're in the 20s. Now that's key because you're cold enough that if you start to see fog, that could cause some patchy black ice on the bridges. Watch the elevated surfaces. There's a big difference between 29 El Reno and then 36 at Will Rogers. It's 43 in Hinton. No ice in those areas, but where we could end up with some slick spots. We're not seeing it right now, but it's possible. Along I-40 from El Reno to Hydro, down 281 from Binger to Greenfield to Watonga, back up to Enid. Haven't seen the fog thick enough to cause any problems as far as ice goes in that area, but that could change. So just be alert as you're hitting those elevated surfaces. Now here's where the fog is currently the most thick. You'll notice visibility not terrible in Oklahoma City. The readings have come down near Stroud, down in Norman, Amber, back to El Reno, Binger, Carnegie. The red is on the map. That's visibility less than a quarter of a mile, where we have the 20s visibility. Again, not seeing the real thick fog. It takes pretty thick fog. It takes a lot of those water droplets to cause that patchy black ice, and as long as it stays patchy, we won't have major problems. There's a look right now on our Mathis home cam. Sun comes up at 7:33. We're at 36 degrees, and we will warm today into the lower and mid, eventually the upper 50s, and that cloud cover starts to break apart into the evening hours. I think it holds on for a while in central Oklahoma. That's why we're cooler than those in the west who see the 50s and the 60s. There is a chance for a few showers today in Oklahoma, but that's far southeast Oklahoma. It'll be great for folks in Broken Bow and Idabel if you can get a couple tenths of an inch of rain. And then it's all about the wind. And now that we're dry and this wind comes in, the fire danger has to be top of mind. Let me show you the wind timeline. Winds out of the south 10 to 20 today. Now I'm taking it into the overnight, after midnight, into the early morning hours, north wind behind that cold front, and watch your wind pick up by 9, 10, 11 a.m. tomorrow, 20 to 30, some gusts to 40 miles per hour. Winds back off, and then it's a south wind that's gusty on your Friday. So wildfires could spread rapidly, especially tomorrow morning. Just be careful. Temps drop into the 30s and 40s tonight. No fog. Sunshine for tomorrow, 50s and low 60s with a gusty north wind. It'll feel chilly. Friday, sunshine, and now south breeze returns. We'll have 50s and 60s as well for your Friday. And let me just show your 9-day forecast, because Saturday we're closer to record highs than average. We're not breaking the record on Saturday, but man, normal's low 50s. It'll be 70 degrees. Cold front hits 56 for the first day of winter, 60s next week, guys, and again, 70 degrees heading into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We'll send it back to you.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence to honor the lives and memories of Deer Creek High School students who tragically passed away last night.
That was a moment of silence at Deer Creek High School. Classmates are heartbroken after 2 high school students are killed and 2 others hospitalized in a bad crash Monday night. We now know 15-year-old Jaslyn Jacobs, who went by Jazzy, was one of those killed. Her mother says she was kind and caring and had dreams of going to cosmetology school and becoming a veterinarian. Another student who was involved in the crash, London Mitchell, remains hospitalized in critical condition.
Unfortunately, we see this stuff way too often, and it takes up a large part of our troopers' lives. So when they send their kids off to college or they send their kids just down the street to the store, they worry about their driving in a situation like this happening.
Investigators have not released the names of the other 2 girls involved in the crash. Investigators are looking into what led to that crash. And as you're seeing right here, we now know Tuesday afternoon, road crews were repairing the guardrail and putting up new caution signs on Charter Oak Road at the scene of the crash.
Well, our thoughts with the Deer Creek community this morning. We're going to switch gears at 6:47, talking the big game in Norman. And now the city of Norman is preparing for a massive crowd, well over 100,000 people, ahead of the big Friday OU Alabama playoff game. And as fans begin making plans, our Lisa Monahan's checking in with Norman city leaders about what to expect: parking, traffic, security. They're trying to keep everyone safe on game day, Lisa.
Yeah, Robin, on game day, fans can expect to see more officers in and around the stadium. OU police, Cleveland County deputies, and the Oklahoma Highway Patrol will be working together to manage the large crowd. Directing traffic around road closures will also be a big part of the security plans. Several streets near the campus and the stadium will close as early as 2 on Friday afternoon, so heads up there. Police are sharing a map of the closures, and they're encouraging fans to review it ahead of time and plan accordingly. Of course, you can find that map right now on news9.com. OHP will also have extra troopers out along I-35 in the Norman area to respond to crashes quickly and help keep traffic moving safely on the interstate.
Traffic flow does change on game days, so just making sure that people familiarize themselves with the roads that are closed. And they kind of have a plan for where they're going to park, that they're not parking somewhere that's illegal, across the sidewalk, in a roadway that's closed, those types of things.
So parking near campus will be limited as usual. So authorities are recommending arriving early, or you may consider using a rideshare service. And one more thing before you go to the game, Norman Police asking fans to sign up for emergency alerts. You can do that by texting Norman Events to 226-787. Of course, Robin, we've posted all of that over at News 9.
Yeah, parking's a premium, and all the tailgating that's going to start is going to be an epic day in Norman. And for more information ahead of the game day, including analysis, exclusive interviews with coaches and players, grab your phone. We have information on our website, news9.com, for everything you need to know about the Sooners game on Friday. So check it all out on our website. Toby and the sports team have been working very hard for getting you ready to go for the big game. All right, we're watching the morning drive for everyone too, Lacie.
Yeah, let's check in with meteorologist Megan Gold. Megan, how are we looking on a Wednesday morning?
Still looking good. We had one crash earlier this morning. It's been about an hour and a half since then, and ever since haven't had any more crashes. I will tell you, we do have several traffic jams ongoing across the metro, reduced visibility in spots, but really headed into Oklahoma City right now from Broadway Extension over to I-40. You really have to get farther out of the metro to start to see those really reduced visibilities, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Speaking of traffic jams in the northbound lanes of I-44 at South 96, starting to see some slow going traffic there. Same deal on I-35, and really south of 27th Street is where the visibilities have been the most reduced. So big picture here, if you're headed into Oklahoma City from El Reno, Yukon, that's where you have more of that denser fog back down to the Chickasha, the Tuttle area to Blanchard, and down to Norman into Oklahoma City right now. Edmond into Oklahoma City, you're doing just fine. There are those slowdowns, just kind of the usual spots. So extra time out the door this morning, extra space between you and the car in front of you if you do drive into that dense fog.
All right, Megan, Lacie, you girls might need to be scared because SpongeBob is now taking over the Weather Center. What?
His underwear?
Uh-oh. Where's his pants?
David Payne.
Uh-oh. Coming up, how SpongeBob is delivering forecasts before his big movie hits at Christmas. It's next.
Coming up on the Coca-Cola porch, we are visiting a new Christmas experience that transforms Couch Pecan Orchard in Luther into a winter wonderland. How beautiful. Our Addie Crawford takes a live look. Don't miss that. It's coming up today at 9 a.m.
It's because today is gonna be a Krabby Patty kind of day, warm and toasty. So, sun's out, buns out.
Come on, Lacie, I want to hear you say it.
Sun's out, buns out. Buns out.
Hey, from fry cooking to predicting the weather, SpongeBob SquarePants may have a new job. In honor of his new movie, The Yellow Sponge brings you the latest forecast right from Bikini Bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, hey, I got it right this time.
There you go.
Is in theaters this Christmas. And what kind of rating would you give him there, Lace?
Oh, I think people would tune in like crazy. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine if Sun's Out, Buns Out were a thing?
I love it. He's wearing his underwear. It kind of reminded me of David Payne.
I don't think it's that far off from what David says.
The tidy whities, is that what you're saying?
Sun's out, buns out.
The ratings would be.
And just being crazy.
Yes, just a nut.
If he just said get Granny from the casino, SpongeBob, we would be in tall cotton, right?
Can you imagine? Yeah, he's hilarious. Absolutely the best. That movie's going to be incredible too.
Can't wait.
Christmas Day. All right, how are we doing out there real quick on the drive this morning?
We got a couple of slow spots. We haven't had any accidents, no reports of any accidents from the fog, which is great.
The fog is getting thicker to the south, so we're watching that Norman. Jeremy Carter, he's out right now, so this is the Norman area. He's been along kind of Highway 9, but it's not terrible. So today we're starting off with light fog, denser fog to the west. Temperatures will be in the mid-50s this afternoon, and guys, no Arctic air over the next 9 days.
Yay.
Right. Make it a good Sun's Out, Buns Out.